You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series.
And we are back and getting ready to roll into this finals. Hey, there are 2 players remaining and a whole lot of Praxis left for this tournament. We've got Casey Nabrev on Praxis mid-range. Hey, just straight up Praxis. No frills here. Staring down SMJ, who is on Dark Praxis. So a little bit of shadow added into the mix.
Yeah, it's a pretty significantly similar matchup. The Dark Return shenanigans with Copper Conduit can be essentially very strong, but most of what Dark Return does is just add another big threat to the board, same as just stacking the board with threats with Praxis midrange. So people should be pretty evenly matched against each other. I'm voting for the one with 2 Diogos instead of 1.
I'm going to go with the single Diogo side, mostly because they've got 4 Initiative Sands and some Praxis Displacer. I think Casey Nabrev could hopefully be able to, at least if he's open to win, get out to a faster, more consistent start, get those Heart of the Vaults and Predatory Carnosaurs out a turn sooner, and maybe back them up with Displacers. But if the game goes long, SMJ is going to be the one with, as you mentioned, the biggest units around, thanks to Dark Return, Copper Conduit, or really just Dark Return, right? So we'll see how this plays out.
In addition, of course, the initiates do decrease the number of threats in your board, and this might just be a slugfest. So it's really going to depend on who draws the most threats, or in the case of Casey Nabrev, whether or not he can push out before it gets into that kind of brawl.
Yeah, normally I would say, like, oh, you play the Initiates and then you don't have to play Seeks or Amber Acolytes. But Casey Nabrev, despite being the 2-faction deck, is playing 4 Seek Powers and 4 Amber Acolytes, where on the other side, SMJ is playing 4 Seek Power and 2 Amber Acolytes. He's actually playing less fixing than the just mono Praxis deck. But this game's underway. We've got 2-2 Copper Conduit on this battlefield, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, SMJ doesn't have Shadow yet, which means that he's going to have some fixing issues, and Casey manages to go from Initiate into Amber Acolyte, which is a very strong way to set up your board. We see the Instinct come out immediately, nixing the Initiative of the Sand and putting Casey Nabrev back onto an even keel, but with the Amber Acolyte, he's guaranteed to be drawing power, while SMJ is not. We will see if that's going to be helpful enough.
Yeah, early on, we saw Casey Nabrev flooding a lot before pulling off that reverse sweep. Hopefully, I'm sure they're hoping to avoid that this time around. In the meantime, just keeping up the pressure, but maybe not quite as much as you like against an opponent that's stuck on power with just, Temple Scribe as a follow-up here. Not what you're hoping for.
Yeah, Casey's hand is not filled with a lot of threats at the moment. He's got the Xenon Initiation to give a little bit of killer, but it's not going great for him. Once he gets his Sandstorm Titan down, things are going to get a little better.
Yeah, it's not going great, but it's certainly going worse for SMJ, at least at the moment. But SMJ finds the Shadow Source, gets that Quarry out of hand, at least one of them, and we'll hopefully get to trot out a normal curve going forward. In the meantime, Casey Nabrev's going to get a 5/5 Overwhelm down here and then get to follow it up with either a Heart of a Vault or a 6/7 Killer Titan, depending on
that was
what he sees in front of him.
Disgustingly good Quarry for SMJ. He discarded a Dawnwalker and drew a second, so he's got the ability to just play as many big units as he wants. He's certainly going to win out on value if this game goes long, because those Dawnwalkers are quite crucial. Quarry essentially drew him an extra Dawnwalker.
Yep. So yeah, Quarry hitting 2 Dawnwalkers is awesome, but only getting 1 back here with the Titan. And as I mentioned, I think Casey Nabrev might take the Titan Initiation route here and keep up the pressure. Yeah, 6/7 Titan on the board conveniently kills a 5/6 Titan and gets in for 7 damage. Means he doesn't get Friendly Wisp value or Heart of the Vault reach or whatever, but he's looking to get aggressive and aggressive line.
Yeah, the aggressive line's quite good for him here. Heart of the Vault can clear out Dawnwalkers and push even more. SMJ can win on the value of his Dawnwalkers alone, but in order to do that, he has to get rid of this big Overwhelm unit, so he might be forced to play something like Carnosaur down this turn.
Yeah, and instead SMJ quarries and then plays a Dawnwalker. Gets a 1-cost Annihilate, which is nice here, but again, opts to play the 4/1 body to chump in the meantime. And yeah, this Heart of the Vault comes down, reduces, obliterates cost, means SMJ can't even double block to kill something here, so it's just got chump block 6 damage. And yeah, this Obliterate's going to be finishing off this game rather quickly here.
Yep, SMJ cannot generate enough blockers this turn. The Dawnwalkers come into play exhausted, so he's going to take damage just from the board. And with KC fixing his power appropriately, using that initiative into Amber Acolyte to set up just a clean series of draws, he just gets out ahead and wins in the slugfest by playing more units earlier.
Yep, as we speculated on, the consistency is the key here, at least in the first game. And we'll see if SMJ can come back in the next game by seeing if the power base cooperates a little bit better. There is a cost to going to 3 factions, and we certainly saw there with all that depleted power and not even hitting the shadow when you wanted to either.
No sideboards for either player, so we should be seeing a second game coming up pretty soon. We are seeing the Dark Praxis just have a few advantages over its rival in terms of like just the general like amount of stuff that it can play, but without the ability to just get that early game secured, Nabrev's was victorious, and we'll see where we go into game 2.
Yep, KC Nabrev gets the play, but nothing like a turn 1 initiate in sight, but we'll still be able to reasonably curve out here, opting to just play out the Friendly Wisp, hoping to find something for it, but instead it finds a torch right on it. SMJ not waiting around to find a better torch area because there really aren't many. So, yep. Wisp goes down.
Getting that draw out of there means that KC is going to have issues with just the overall card advantage play, and also it means that he's not going to be able to fix his power as easily. So it will just help him out in terms of like making sure that it keeps him honest. So we are going to be seeing a lot more straight up brawling, and that's what SMJ's deck is best.
Yeah, I still liked trotting out the 1/1 there, making your opponent have the torch. Like your game plan and your advantage in this matchup is that you are curving out more consistently than your opponent, you should play to that strength, right? We see here KC Nabrev has a 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop. You just weren't going to find a great spot to play that Wisp out. And I think trying to outgrind the 3-faction deck with Quarries and Dark Returns isn't the way you win this game.
Yep.
SMJ, in the meantime, finding more power here.
Yeah, with the Obliterate here, I think you actually target the Amber Acolyte just to get rid of the blocker. Killing Copper Conduits is usually not advised when you're trying to set up an early game. The longer they stay alive, the less likely they are to just suddenly... if you allow them to basically get Dark Return, then they tend to become a lot more scary. And Nabrev is aware of that risk.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if Nabrev opts to use Heart of the Vault on face here or just obliterate away the Copper Conduit. Yep, gets in for the 5 extra damage there, essentially the 3 over the Copper Conduit plus the 2 attack. And SMJ is scrambling to stabilize here, but might be able to pull it off with this Heart of the Vault.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. KC gets to Heart of the Vault off the top of his deck. Ooh, my. That's really quite lovely. And with 2 damage to the face and an extra card, that's going to help him stabilize a little bit.
0 cost Xenon Initiation means he can just clear the board here, too, if he so chooses. Oh, my God. Also gets it out of any kind of obliteration from the other end, because both players
are... answer. Yeah, that was very high luck from KC Nabrev. And at this point, with another Heart of the Vault coming down, SMJ is just kind of in a lot of trouble. Obliterate drawn, that's lethal. So KC secures 2 games.
Yeah, wow. Like SMJ did an impressive job trying to get back in that game, curving out into the Heart of the Vault with that undepleted power. But KC Nabrev can play that game too with the Heart of the Vault off the top with initiation. Wow, incredible. So KC Nabrev up 2-0 going into sideboards now. What do you expect for both players to adjust here?
Well, it looks like one player might be looking at securing a little bit more of an early game, and indeed we're seeing a couple of things come out, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more aggression type stuff. We are actually seeing Healer's Cloaks not coming in for SMJ, which it surprises me a little considering how often he was sort of down on health and in a lot of trouble. He does have Statuary Maidens in the deck. I think those are probably significant includes just because they're so good against every threat that KC can play, and the overall value of them can be very, very strong, especially when they kill Dawnwalkers. Yeah, from the other player, like currently, KC has a lot of options for sort of slowing down the game, including Healer's Cloak, Xenon Obelisk, like anything that like can set up a little bit bigger stuff can be nice. You could certainly see those Xenon Obelisks come in just to have the bigger Sandstorm Titan. That's always nice to have. But overall, he doesn't need to make a lot of changes. His deck is already fairly aggressive, and he doesn't have anything to add to make it more aggressive. And it seems like that game plan's working for him.
Yeah, I don't think it's in Casey Nebrev's best interest to try and slow the game down and outgrind the three faction version of this deck and instead stay aggressive. The real question is do the displacers stay in, or does he opt to bring in a better threat like Groundbreaker? That's certainly intriguing. We'll just have to wait and see what the plan is here as this game is underway.
Certainly expect the displacers to stay in. They aren't that great against Heart of the Vault, which is, kind of an issue if you end up having to displace a Heart of the Vault, because it just comes back and then kills your displacer. But could be crucial in a particular turn. We'll see if anything happens with it.
Yep, so the same old story here. Casey Nebrev just trying to curve out here, 2-drop into 3-drop, hopefully finding a 4-drop into 5-drop, 6-drop, but still a decent opening there. SMJ has one of the better hands that we've seen from them so far. Slow, but the power's there, and at least it's not depleted. That's something to hang your hat.
These double Dawnwalkers, KC actually has a really significant amount of value early. He's not pressing as much damage as he would normally like, but the fact that these Dawnwalkers are going to keep coming back means that he's always going to be pressuring SMJ.
Yep. But crucially, SMJ finds a Diogo here. So Dio shows up, not going to put on pressure, but instead play a 3/5 body, which conveniently blocks Dawn very nicely. Casey Nebrev's still just going to swing it anyways, make them block. These Dawnwalkers are coming back probably via this monument. You could play it as power to guarantee Heart of the Vault next turn, but I think it's in your interest to just get these.
I think if you're drawing 2 cards, you're fairly likely to have Heart of the Vault anyways.
Yeah.
So he guarantees the draw, he gets the Dawnwalkers back, and he finds the power for Heart of the Vault. So everything looking very good for KC.
Yeah, this is all going to script again here, really, right? Casey on the play, just with the more aggressive draw, applying the pressure. Heart of the Vault can kill a Dawnwalker here, but probably going to finish off like this Diogo or something after the attack.
He could also just Torch here, and in fact, he does opt to do that, and that allows him to push in with a lot more damage, and he can use Heart of the Vault to clear Dawnwalker next turn.
Yeah, by torching, that means your 5/5 stays alive. I'm just not sure if that's better than losing it and getting a heart down and killing Diogo. I'm not sure I quite like that move. Now, it's just not only a good use, like not a great use of your power, but I think you could have made a better use of your threats. Now, SMJ gets to play his Heart of the Vault and kind of swing the board back in their favor.
Yeah, at this point, KC has to decide if he wants to play Heart of the Vault to kill Heart of the Vault, which it looks like he's going to go for. It was very bad for SMJ, even if you suspect a Heart of the Vault. That's a lot of damage. But since he annihilates the 5/5, he's safe for the turn. And the Heart of the Vault will have to either go straight for face or kill off that Dawnwalker.
I think you go face here. The Dawnwalker's just a 4/1. It's not like blocking that 1 damage really matters. And we see the Xenon Obelisk did come in for Casey Nebrev, not afraid of Shatterglass Mage ever hitting it. Instead, just wanting to make those units as big as possible. And it's going to pay off here. I mean, Casey Nebrev's going to be on 8
very
power
bad for
turn.
SMJ.
Yeah, SMJ digging with quarries, has nothing else to do. And, there actually was a Maiden in hand, and he didn't want to play it here.
Quite a bit. Being able to kill Dawnwalkers is very important. At this point with the Obelisk, I believe KC might have lethal. It's a little tricky. No, he's not quite going to make it, but he's going to get very close.
It's going to totally decimate this board. And again, by not playing the Maiden there, instead playing the Dawnwalker, these Dawnwalkers will be free to come back as well. Especially because this Dawnwalker that's buffed by Obelisk is going to bring them all back. And SMJ at 2 health is just not going to get the job done here. It looks like the sweep is imminent for Casey Nebrev.
Way too fast and aggressive, and Casey Nebrev is going to take Game 3 and the series.
Yep, there's the scoop from SMJ, and wow, I think that was just a 3-0-3-0 Casey Nabrev went 3-1 last round. All right, so a 3-0 here for Casey Nabrev over SMJ. But man, these praxis-based lists, they can come out fast and keep the fury coming.
It's a very powerful combination, and just the reliability of two colors just really weighed down on the Dark Praxis's ability to have a couple of shenanigans. We did see some cool things out of SMJ's deck, but he never quite got the really big stuff he was looking for, the Dark Returned Conduits or the fun Predator's Instinct tricks. He was just on the back foot too much, and KC weighed out in terms of just huge, scary threats.
Yeah, crucially there, Casey Nabrev's consistency showed, and also the fact that they were on the play more often certainly helped there too with their proactive game plan. So hats off to both players. They would both qualify for the Invitational if they hadn't already been qualified for the Invitational coming up. So we'll be seeing them again in just a few weeks, actually in about a month, I guess. And yeah, just sweet stuff. Nerf Heart of the Vault, right? Is that the thread we have to go make on Reddit now? You have to complain about set 2 being too strong?
Leave it to whoever. I think we're probably good for things going on. It's definitely a situation where it is an awkward card to play on occasion, but if you're playing the right Praxis list, that's definitely a lot of value.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about having some fun new toys to play with, that's for sure.
Yeah, warp cards are lovely. They're an awful lot of fun. I'm pretty excited about Heart of the Vault, and it's been very good in the decks that we've seen so far.
Yeah, he comes with a great price, but a very, very great payoff as well. So fun to see some new stuff doing well in the tournaments. They certainly showed up last week, but this week they decided to take it all down. So awesome tournament today. And yeah, I hope to have some more fun next week too.
Yeah, it should be a delightful time.
And with that all done, I guess Rakenna will be stopping by, Mr. Tournament Organizer himself, to say lots of nice things about everything too.
Thank you, Rhino. Yes, hello everyone. This is Rakenna, your tournament organizer here. First, I'd like to congratulate both Casey Nabrev for winning the event, and this is his second time playing in the ETS, and SMJ for making it to the finals. They are both guaranteeing their place in the Season 5 Invitational on August 26th and 27th. And a very impressive performance out of both of them. Next, I'd like to thank all the players and all the viewers. If it wasn't for all of you, we couldn't be doing this. And really putting this tournament and stream on every week is fantastic. I would also like to thank Millertool, our producer. Without him, we would literally not be streaming this. He does a solo job, and he's doing it really amazing. I'd also like to thank our graphics and co-contributors who make our jobs much easier, specifically Mengar for his tiebreaker script and his deck image creation tool. And a huge thank you to our $20 Patreon backers. Without you guys as a backbone of our monetary support, none of this would be possible. And I'd like to thank Chuck Hurst, Easy, Chris Kearns, Andre Pokai, and Seek Power Gaming. And finally, thank you to our casters, Bear Driss, who unfortunately had to step out, Sir Rhino, and LocoPojo. Rhino, would you like to tell us about your stream?
Sure. I stream basically every weekday and sometimes Sunday. Not always, normally off. So just during basically the afternoon Eastern time, 1 to 7 Eastern time. We draft, we brew, we have fun, we lose a lot, we win a lot. You can find me at Sir_Rhino on Twitch. You can look up my name in Twitch chat to find me. And yeah, we just have fun. That's what we do. How about you, Pojo? I think you like to stream too, right?
Yeah, quite a bit. We stream Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. PST, and also on Saturdays and Sundays as bonuses sometimes. I like to do crazy brews. I like to do a lot of drafting, and we occasionally do a lot of teaching basics type situations. There's also pretty frequently a deck doctor stream that I do on Sundays where you can submit your decks. We'll play them on stream. We'll talk about them and have a great time. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. You should definitely show up. It's twitch.tv/LocoPojo.
All right, and that does it for this week's show. We do this every week, round about noon Eastern. So click that follow button and leave on notifications. Because not only do we do the ETS stream every Saturday, we also stream something on the channel every single day except for Friday, We have the legendary Lights Out Ace, Miller Tool, and even aReNGee, the man, the founder himself. And thank you once again, everyone. And have a good night. Enjoy the music on the way out.
In der guten alten Zeit lebten die Menschen noch